The installation of over 5,000 meters of elevated metro bridge spans represents a significant milestone in the development of modern urban transportation infrastructure. Elevated metro systems, in which railways are built above ground level, are increasingly being used in densely populated urban areas to ease traffic congestion, reduce travel times, and offer sustainable transport options. Such projects are complex, requiring careful planning, skilled engineering, and advanced technology to ensure the safety, efficiency, and durability of the infrastructure. The construction process of elevated metro spans involves several stages, including the assembly of individual bridge sections, the use of large cranes and specialized equipment, and coordination among teams to safely install each segment at the correct height and alignment. Often, precast concrete or steel sections are used due to their strength and resistance to weathering. These sections are typically manufactured off-site and transported to the construction area, where they are assembled and connected to form the elevated track. Given the considerable length of over 5,000 meters, this project would span across multiple urban districts, making logistics and traffic management essential to minimize disruptions to daily life. Safety measures are paramount in such installations, as working at heights with large structural elements involves significant risk. Workers follow stringent safety protocols, including the use of harnesses, guardrails, and precise machinery operation. Modern elevated metro systems also employ shock-absorbing materials and earthquake-resistant designs, especially in regions prone to seismic activity, to enhance the resilience of the infrastructure. Once the girders are transported to the site, the first step in the launching process is securing each girder on a specialized trolley. The trolley is engineered to bear the immense weight of the girder and allow it to slide smoothly along a set of rails laid out along the path from point P2 to point P1. In this stage, the girder is positioned carefully atop the trolley and secured using industrial-strength chains and locking mechanisms. For added safety, the chains and locking equipment undergo a tightening process. This step involves the precise adjustment of each chain and locking mechanism to ensure uniform load distribution. The chains and turnbuckles are carefully inspected to confirm that they are appropriately tensioned, which helps prevent unwanted movement. Tightening ensures that the girder remains stable on the trolley throughout its journey along the rails, especially during initial mobilization. Girder mobilization using trolley and rails with the girder securely fastened. The next step involves mobilizing it across the project site using a trolley and rail system. The rails are specially designed to support the trolley's weight and allow for controlled movement toward the launcher. This movement system provides the flexibility needed to maneuver the girder while keeping it aligned with the designated path. During this phase, operators carefully monitor the trolley's speed and alignment to ensure smooth mobilization. This stage sets the girder up for the critical launching process, where it will be transported across the span. The 458-meter span at the Kalimalang River site in Duisburg is a significant engineering accomplishment, made possible through advanced girder erection techniques. Using the launcher method, multiple PCI girders, each weighing around 100 tons and measuring 45 meters or 30 meters, were sequentially installed across this long span without needing extensive temporary supports. This approach minimized environmental disruption to the river below. The launcher system enabled precise positioning of girders across the 458-meter span, ensuring structural integrity and alignment. Each phase, from securing on the trolley to winching, was meticulously coordinated to handle the complexities of such a substantial span. The erection of PCI, pre-stressed concrete I girders using the launcher method, is a highly efficient approach for installing large-scale bridge components, especially across challenging terrains such as rivers or valleys. In the case of the Kalimalang River project in Duisburg, Central Java, PCI girders weighing approximately 100 tons each were successfully lifted and positioned using a specialized launcher system. This method not only ensures precision but also maintains safety and stability throughout the process. Once the girder reaches the launching point at P2, it is prepared for the actual launch. The launcher system lifts and propels the girder from P2 across the river span to its intended position at P1. This is a delicate and highly controlled phase, requiring the use of hydraulic or mechanical launch mechanisms that steadily push the girder forward. The launcher allows the girder to be placed precisely on the intended support structures without the need for temporary scaffolding, reducing time and labor costs. To finalize the placement of the girder, winches are used in conjunction with the launcher to secure the girder from point P2 to point P1. Winches provide additional pulling force, helping to guide the girder into its final position with precision. This ensures that the girder is aligned with the support points and remains stable during the transition. Winching is a critical step that aids in the last few meters of the girder's movement, allowing for micro adjustments that ensure the girder is precisely positioned. The Rhine River Rail Bridge Superstructure replacement on the Western Line was a key initiative under the 4 Northwest Bridges Rehabilitation and Replacement Projects, contracted by Tasmanian Railway, Tushrail. This program aimed to address the structural concerns of aging rail bridges critical to maintaining the stability and safety of Tasmania's rail network. As a result, the Rhine River Rail Bridge, originally constructed in 1886, became a priority due to its deteriorating condition over the years, exacerbated by the effects of consistent wind exposure and the surrounding saline environment. These factors had accelerated the bridge's wear, raising concerns about its resilience and the risk of sudden failure, which would severely impact railway operations in the region. Recognizing the importance of the bridge's integrity to Tasrail's operations and the wider Tasmanian rail network, a proactive replacement project was commissioned. VEC Civil Engineering was awarded the contract in May 2012 to undertake the Rhine River Rail Bridge Superstructure replacement. As an established civil engineering company experienced in large-scale infrastructure projects, VEC's appointment signaled a focused and professional approach to addressing the bridge's condition. In preparation for this ambitious project, VEC and Tushrail engaged in months of thorough planning and logistical coordination to ensure that the replacement would proceed smoothly within a tight time frame. The execution phase of the project was planned for a brief window of 84 hours, minimizing disruption to railway services and allowing the bridge replacement to proceed efficiently. The narrow time frame was a critical component of the project's planning, as it was essential to re-establish the rail link without significant operational downtime. As such, scheduling and task allocation were imperative, and all necessary resources, materials, and workforce logistics were pre-arranged to support seamless execution. Work officially commenced on Wednesday, the 26th of December, leveraging the holiday period to minimize rail traffic and public disruption. VEC's team of engineers, construction professionals, and support personnel undertook a highly coordinated effort, with around-the-clock shifts enabling continuous progress. Despite the complexity of replacing the superstructure, the team maintained a strong focus on safety and efficiency, adhering to both engineering standards and environmental guidelines. Northeast Melton Mowbray Distributor Road project utilized a powerful 300-ton crane to lift and precisely position massive beams, enhancing connectivity and supporting efficient, large-scale infrastructure development in the region. The team successfully lifted 9 heavy-duty beams, each carefully positioned to form a vital part of the distributor road structure, ensuring stability and resilience for long-term infrastructure performance and safety. Using the Vita Load Navigator, a remotely controlled precision lifting system allowed for exceptional accuracy. This technology enabled fine-tuned adjustments during lifting, ensuring safe, precise beam placement without manual intervention nearby. The Vita Load Navigator utilized high-powered crane, which played a crucial role in stabilizing each beam during the lift. These cranes countered any unplanned movement caused by wind or other external factors, effectively holding the load in place and preventing the kind of swaying or shifting that could lead to injury or structural damage. This added stability not only made the lifting process safer, but also reduced the likelihood of costly delays due to misalignment or accidents. Further enhancing safety and accuracy were temporary beam guides that enabled precise landing of the beams. By eliminating the need for workers to be in close proximity during positioning, the guides helped achieve a remarkable level of accuracy within 5 millimeters. This precision was critical for ensuring the structural integrity of the future roadway while protecting the crew and reducing the need for manual corrections post-lift. The Gateway Wa project's underpass installation, showcased in a captivating time-lapse video, offers a glimpse into the intricate work of connecting the principal shared path, PSP network. This underpass, located in the southern zone, crosses Roe Highway just west of Tonkin Highway, enhancing connectivity and safety for cyclists and pedestrians. The footage covers the project from start to finish, capturing every phase of construction and providing viewers with an impressive, compressed view of the lengthy and detailed process. The video begins with the early stages of bulk excavation, a significant task requiring heavy machinery to dig deep and form the initial foundation of the underpass. Excavation is an essential step as it prepares the site for further construction and ensures stability for the structure. Once the earth is removed, foundation work begins, setting a solid base upon which the underpass will be built. The foundations are a critical component of the project, as they ensure that the underpass can withstand both the weight of the structure itself and the dynamic forces from traffic on the highway above. Following the foundation, the team proceeds to construct the main structural components. In the time-lapse, viewers can see the installation of steel reinforcements, concrete pouring, and other vital steps that shape the underpass. Each element is meticulously positioned to guarantee durability and safety for future users. The video highlights the complexity of the structural assembly, demonstrating the careful planning and expertise involved in placing each part accurately. Once the structure is completed, the final stages involve asphalting and finishing touches. The asphalting not only provides a smooth surface for pedestrians and cyclists, but also enhances the visual appeal of the pathway, blending it with the surrounding infrastructure. The video concludes with the polished, accessible underpass ready for public use. The planning and construction of the new A40 bridge over the Rhine River near Duisburg, Germany, marks a crucial infrastructure project to support increasing traffic volumes and heavier loads between Rotterdam and Duisburg, connecting the Lower Rhine with the Ruhr area. The existing bridge could no longer meet these demands, prompting construction of a modern replacement. The planning began in 2015 with the goal of quickly alleviating congestion and improving transportation efficiency. In June 2020, Hochtief and the ARJ A40 Consortium launched construction with initial setup work, including building access roads, establishing a pre-assembly area, and setting up workspace and on-site offices. The first phase of bridge construction focused on laying deep foundations and building the primary piers. Temporary piers were also constructed to stabilize the structure during key stages of construction. To eventually shift the bridge sections into their final positions, temporary supports were used, which will be removed once the permanent structure is secured. Steelwork for the bridge's southern section, including pedestrian pathways, involved 297 large components and thousands of smaller parts. With just-in-time delivery from multiple European factories, steel parts totaling 13,600 tons were transported to the site. Precision was vital. A detailed measurement plan with specific tolerances ensured that all pieces would fit together seamlessly. This logistical feat required nearly 350 nighttime heavy load trips due to the size of some components, which could weigh up to 105 tons. Two construction methods were employed for this massive project: incremental launching and free cantilever construction. In the incremental launching phase, bridge sections up to 30 meters in length were pre-assembled, welded to the existing bridge structure, and hydraulically pushed forward onto support piers. A custom-built launching nose was fitted to guide these sections until the free cantilever construction stage. The central section of the bridge was assembled using this latter method, allowing additional segments to be joined securely. Throughout the project, Quality control was a priority. The welding, totaling hundreds of kilometers in length, was thoroughly inspected using magnetic particle and ultrasonic testing to ensure durability. Precision was equally critical for the bridge's 4 pylons, each reaching a height of 70 meters and consisting of 48 parts totaling 1,650 tons. Each pylon was hoisted into place by large cranes and was completed in stages alongside the bridge's structural framework. Sustainability was also emphasized in this project. Efforts to optimize material use and reduce CO2 emissions were integral to both the planning and building phases, reflecting a broader commitment to environmental responsibility. By early 2023, a significant milestone known as the Bridge Wedding marked the joining of the western and eastern bridge sections. Although much work remains, including sealing, installing guardrails, noise barriers, and final road surfacing, the project is on track to complete by 2026. The finished bridge will allow for the expansion of the A40 to 8 lanes over 4.5 kilometers, significantly improving traffic flow and connectivity for the region. The pile driving process for the Kalimalang Bridge construction is a crucial aspect of the overall engineering and construction methodology. This process involves the installation of deep foundations, specifically piles, to support the weight of the bridge and ensure its stability over time. Located in Indonesia, the Kalimalang Bridge connects various regions and serves as a vital transportation link, making the integrity of its construction paramount. Pile driving is a technique used to create deep foundations that transfer the load of a structure to deeper, more stable soil layers. This is especially important in areas where surface soil is weak or compressible. The piles are typically made of concrete, steel, or driven into the ground using a pile driver, which uses a heavy weight to impact the pile, forcing it into the soil. The selection of pile material and type depends on various factors, including soil conditions, load requirements, and environmental considerations. Before the actual pile driving begins, extensive site preparation is necessary. This includes conducting geotechnical surveys to understand the soil composition and conditions. These surveys provide valuable data that help engineers determine the type of piles to be used, their lengths, and the spacing between them. Additionally, the construction area is cleared of debris, and any necessary access roads are established to facilitate the transportation of equipment and materials. The pile driving process for the Kalimalang Bridge utilizes advanced equipment designed for efficiency and precision. Hydraulic or diesel pile drivers are commonly used, and these machines can drive piles at various angles and depths, depending on project requirements. Modern pile drivers may also include GPS technology to ensure accurate positioning, enhancing the overall quality of the foundation. Once the site is prepared and equipment is in place, the pile driving process begins. Piles are delivered to the site and positioned according to the construction plans. The pile driver is then aligned with the first pile, and the driving process starts. The driver lifts a heavy hammer to a certain height and then releases it, allowing it to fall onto the pile. This impact drives the pile into the ground. The driving process is carefully monitored to ensure that the piles reach the required depth and are installed vertically. Engineers track the resistance encountered by the piles during driving, adjusting techniques as necessary to account for variations in soil conditions. Continuous monitoring is essential as it ensures the stability and safety of the future bridge structure. Quality control is a significant aspect of the pile driving process. Engineers perform tests to ensure that the piles meet specified strength and load-bearing criteria. This may include dynamic testing, where a hammer strike is monitored to assess the pile's integrity and capacity. Safety protocols are strictly followed during this phase to protect workers and ensure that the equipment operates effectively.